Over the next 2 decades, humanity is on a collision course. But it's not with some asteroid or outside threat. It's with something we built ourselves. And what's at stake isn't just our economy, it's the very definition of what a human career even is. The year 2040? That's not some far-off sci-fi date. It's a deadline. And trust me, the first shock wave is already hitting the shore.
So forget about some gentle, slow transition. The first number you have to get your head around comes from the McKinsey Global Institute. By 2030, and that's just a few years away, almost a third of all the hours we currently work in the United States could just be handed over to an algorithm. This is the calculated path of the automation shockwave. It isn't coming, it's already here.
So you might be asking, where does all that value go? All those work hours, they don't just vanish into thin air, right? No. The value concentrates. It flows upwards to the people who own the capital, the ones who own the algorithms. If we just keep going on this business-as-usual path, look at these numbers for 2035. The top 10% are projected to hold 75% of the wealth. And the bottom 50%? They're left with just 1.5%. This isn't just a little more inequality. This is a fundamental rewiring of our entire economic reality.
Okay, so let's dig into the mechanics of this shockwave. Forget all the corporate talk about AI being our partner. This is about the hard, uncomfortable data of displacement and how it's already chipping away at the foundations of our job market.
This isn't something that just started yesterday. The trend's been building for decades. If you look at prime-age workers who don't have a college degree, their participation in the workforce has been steadily dropping. Automation didn't start this fire, but it is absolutely pouring gasoline on it by wiping out the routine tasks that used to be the bedrock of so many jobs. It's like the ladder of opportunity is being taken apart, rung by painful rung.
And, of course, this impact doesn't hit everyone equally. The data is crystal clear. Exposure to automation hits marginalized communities the hardest. For workers with lower levels of education, it has already widened the black-white wage gap by 5 percentage points. So this technology, it acts like a multiplier for the inequalities that are already there, making a really tough situation even more fragile.
But honestly, the economic crisis might not even be the most profound one. The real crisis is psychological. For centuries, our work has been our anchor. It's what gives us purpose, a community, and identity. So what happens to us when that anchor gets cut loose?
This right here is the central question of the automation age. Think about it. We're told to bring our whole selves to work. But what's really happened is that work has consumed our whole selves. When the first question we ask a stranger is, "So what do?" losing the answer to that question can feel like you're losing yourself entirely. This habit of tying our identities so closely to our careers, it's a psychological trap. It makes our sense of self-worth incredibly fragile, right? Totally dependent on the next performance review. It just erodes our resilience. And in a world where your whole profession could basically become obsolete overnight, tying your identity to a job title isn't just a bad idea. It's a recipe for a massive, society-wide existential crisis.
Okay, I know. This all sounds incredibly bleak, like it's the end. But what if it's not? What if this identity crisis is actually the painful birth of something totally new? What if the point of all this tech was never just to make our jobs more efficient, but to get rid of the need for them altogether? Let's explore a really radical alternative: the infinity economy.
The infinity economy is a complete break from pretty much every economic idea in human history. Think about it. Capitalism, socialism, they're all just different systems for managing scarcity. This new idea is built on the exact opposite principle: abundance, driven by technology. A world where value isn't extracted from a limited pie, it's created and distributed almost infinitely.
The difference here is just stark. On one side, you've got our world, competing over finite resources, where you have to work to survive. On the other, you have a world where things can be made for nearly zero cost, where collaboration fuels progress, and what people do all day shifts from labor to self-actualization. It's a total break from everything we've known.
And this is the ultimate promise, isn't it? Not a world of despair and unemployment, but a world where we move to a self-actualization economy. A civilization where AI and automation handle the basics of our survival, freeing us up to finally explore the meaning of life, instead of just working for the means to live.
So there you have it. 2 possible futures: a brutal dystopia of mass displacement, or this utopian vision of post-scarcity freedom. The thing is, the path between them isn't something we just drift into. It's not going to be decided by policy papers. The evidence suggests it's going to be determined by a high-stakes biological upgrade.
Just think about how our relationship with computers has evolved. Every big leap has been about reducing friction, about gaining a competitive edge. We went from clunky keyboards to intuitive touchscreens. So what's the final step in this race? To remove the interface altogether. By 2040, brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, won't be some niche sci-fi thing. They're going to be the new professional standard.
A BCI doesn't just make you better at your job, it fundamentally redefines what a professional can do. Imagine trying to communicate a complex design, not with messy words, but by sharing the entire mental concept directly. Imagine needing a new skill and just downloading the expertise instantly. This isn't about making you a better worker. It's about making you a fundamentally different kind of worker.
In this new intelligence era, that becomes the new baseline for being relevant. The ability to work at the speed of thought won't be a luxury. It'll be the price of admission. This isn't an upgrade you get for a promotion. It's an upgrade you get for survival. And it's going to create a brand new divide between the augmented and the obsolete.
Which brings us to the final critical question. We're standing at this incredible threshold where automation is threatening our jobs while also promising a world without scarcity, and at the same time demanding that we literally merge with our technology just to stay in the game. The very idea of what a human is worth is completely up for debate.
So, what's it going to be? Will our ability to contribute be a personal choice we make in a world of abundance? Will the whole 9-to-5 career just be a quaint memory we tell our grandkids about? Or will work become synonymous with a mandatory neural upgrade, creating a new chasm between those who are augmented and those who are left behind? The next 20 years are going to give us the answer.